folks. Yes, I am live. It is Monday the 20th of October 2014. How you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the views expressed live right here on the Free America Radio Network. Are you happening today? What is this? It's what, Monday? It is Monday. How do you feel? How do you, what, seriously? How do you feel? What's going on with you? How does the leader of a country get away with playing so much golf? I'm just wondering. I'm curious. I don't have the answer. I'm just wondering. And when you hear these politicians, and I agree with Glenn Beck on this because I heard him this morning, he said that both parties, there is, basically I'm going to word it my way, and basically there is no two-party system. If you heard my podcast from earlier, there is no two-party system. It's one party, and this is what Glenn Beck says. They're the progressive party. Both parties together, they're progressive, and that's just the way it is. Yes. Afternoon coffee, folks. Anyway, how do we get the moment of logic and common sense into the public arena? Okay? How do we? Well, I see that there was some things in the past that were being interjected into the political arena, and they seemed, catch that word, they seemed quite valid. But as you go back and you look and you examine the environment and what was going on back then, you'll see that it was nothing more than the Republican Party, being progressives as they are, to negatively inflict harm upon the economics and political system of America. I'm not talking just the Republican Party. I'm talking Democrats too, because one has to give. There has to be a compromise. Somebody across the aisle has to stand up and say, yeah, we all agree on that. And Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid is one of them. I don't know, I forget who the other one was. But I'm going to tell you, there is no longer any two-party system in this country. There is no two-party system in this country. It is one party. It is the Progressive Party. It is the party of dominance. It is the party of communist, socialist, fascist, Marxist. Period. End of sentence. And that's just the way it is. Now, how do we change things? Interesting question. I would have to say that, yes, how do we change things? Very systematically. Now, locally, statewide, all of that, your votes count to a point. Because if you notice anything about your votes for, countywide, statewide initiatives and all that, do you know that they're thrown into court almost immediately after they're made law? Why? Because, well, that's just the way it is. It just happens that way. Because nobody wants truth, justice in the American way. Everybody wants communism, Marxism, socialism, fascism. That's just the way it is. There are people out there who want that. Well, I stand on the Constitution. And for those people, a message to you. You ain't getting it. That's just the way it is. So anyway, go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com site or freeamericaradio.us for more information. And I shall return right after this. Don't wait until another natural or man-made disaster strikes. Have at least 72 hours of emergency gear near you at all times, and that includes food. Get your emergency food supply today. Go to freeamericaradio.us and at the top of the page, click on the emergency food supply link. Help your family by purchasing as much emergency food supply as you need. You'll be helping out your family and Free America Radio Network. Thank you. Showing you who's behind the curtain, pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. Live from behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9. Sharing the truth, one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order, because the global order is changing again. And the institutions that worked so well in the post-World War II era for decades, they need to be strengthened, and some have to be changed. So we have to do what we do best. We have to lead. We have to lead.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.
Hey folks, this is the Views Expressed live right here for the 20th of October 2014. How you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Free America Radio Network. Go to freeamericaradio.us for more information, if you would, please. Donate if you can. We're moving to the next level, and we need your help. So thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. Go to the Free America Radio Facebook page. Yes, go to the Facebook page. Facebook, yeah. Interesting, is it not? Alert. Obama is officially prepping to give amnesty to 34 million. Yes, he is. It's reported all over the web, including Breitbart.com, that the Obama administration is searching for vendors who can handle the paperwork visas for 34 million illegal aliens, not 11 million like so many people from your favorite 2016 camp will tell you. 34 million, as in the number I have been warning you of since they come to America, 2012. This is from Dennis Michael Lynch at DML2016.com, DML2016.com. And he says, ask yourself this question before you decide not to share this post or before you click on like. You have a lineup of 4 conservatives And you can only pick one guy who you know will fight for you to the bitter death. Someone who will protect your job, your kids' future, your health, your family, your life. Someone who will stand in front of the machine guns to prevent any chance of you being shot. Who are you going to pick? Senator Paul, Dr. Carson, Senator Cruz, or me? This is what Dennis Michael Lynch has wrote. DML2016.com. Continuing, better yet, I challenge you to call your favorite guy tonight and ask his staff member to pass on one very simple question, but be sure to get the answer in writing. Ask if you can somehow get kids to vote for you instead of Hillary, and thus you are elected president, will you override Obama's executive amnesty, unquote. If they don't say yes without taking a pause, well, then I just answered the question in paragraph 2 for you. And if you don't like this post, if you don't think this post is worthy of sharing, I hate to see you go, but you should probably click on like now, because I only plan on ratcheting it up from here. He says this: any man who uses the 11 million number when describing illegal aliens is clueless. And that includes just about every Republican except Sessions and King. Any person like Senator Paul who says voter ID is not important is either asleep or in support of liberals. Any person like Senator Cruz who hands out donated food to illegal aliens instead of hungry Americans in his own state is not doing his job. And if that doesn't eat you, ask him why he proposed a bill to increase foreign work visas by 500%. How dare he? Any guy like Dr. Carson who says granting amnesty is the humane thing to do, that guy is no better than Obama. I'm not here to protect a party. I'm here to protect my kids and your kids. You say you are tired of political correctness? Well, start telling it like it is, even when it hurts your favorite guy. Fighting for America, Dennis Michael Lynch, DML2016.com. I put that up there because that's a good message. I put that up there because it's a true message. Let's do this, parents. I challenge you to do this if you have more than 2 children. Take your 3 children, if you have 3 or 4, stand them in line in the kitchen and say, okay, who wants ice cream? There's only 1 scoop. Who wants ice cream? Chances are all 4 of them will raise their hand, but you can only give it to 1. Now, excuse me, ask your child, okay, you said you want ice cream. Okay, did you clean your room? And have all, if there's 4, it's even better. If you have, 4 hands in the air, ask them, did you clean your room? If all 4 goes down, put the ice cream back. If 1 hand is still up, well, there you go. You give them the ice cream because they did something, right? Now, what does that say about the presidential candidates? Have 4 of your candidates in your state and ask them to stand in a row, and then ask them, are you going to support the Constitution prior to 1871? And just ask them, who wants to be president? And all 4 of them are probably going to raise their hand. You tell them to keep their hand in the air. Then you ask them that question. Are you going to stand on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States prior to 1871? Chances are all 4 hands are going to stay in the air. Here's the contrast. Your children don't have an agenda. Your children know that you will find out. the politicians that are running for president are too stupid and think that you're too stupid to ever want to find out that they're controlled. So when 4 of their hands stay in the air after you ask them that question, you've just found out who are the controlled politicians. Because they're going to say whatever they want to get into office. We see it, and we've seen it in the last 6 or 8 or 10, 12, 20 years, probably more. It doesn't matter. All the politicians are nothing more than employees of the elites. Their offices are paid for. And when I say offices, I'm talking about the office of the president, the office of the vice president, the office of the secretary of state. It's all bought and paid for. Well, our taxes pay for it. No. A portion of your taxes you pay every year, including property tax, goes to the Queen of England. Go look at it. Okay? Now, I have to say this because it is important and it does relate to what we are going through as a society in America right now. If at some point you realize that the 4 guys that were raising their hand who want to be president, and you realize they're controlled, once you realize that they're paid and controlled, you've only got one choice left. And I don't cater and follow, or nor am I an affiliate of any political party, because I'm independent from all of it. I'm actually non-partisan. So, what you do is you look around your city, your state, your county, your federal government, and now that you know who is the controlled, well, let's just say the puppets of the elites and the corporations, that will make it easier for you to pinpoint and pick out all of the people that you will know who are controlled. I mean, it's like, seeing a counterfeit bill in a bank. The bank tellers and bank employees are trained to find the good bills, the legal bills, the ones, the 5s, 10s, 20s. And when they come across something that doesn't look right, they pull it out. And it's usually 99.9% of the time counterfeit. And that's what I'm saying. You have to look at all these politicians, question them, question their motives, all of that, and you'll find the counterfeit. And I can tell you right now, they're in both parties, because they're all the progressive parties. And they're all there. And they're just going to say whatever they want to get into office. Okay? Doesn't matter to them. Doesn't matter at all. Because as far as the political agents are concerned, and yes, there are, and I want to call them agent provocateurs, because they provocateur the politics to get you to see it their way instead of, using, instead of, just you using your common sense and logic and figuring it all out on your own. They want to throw all these lies in front of you and make you believe them. Okay? So this is what's happening. You're being buffaloed, you're being duped, you're being, your behavior is being controlled by their actions. Okay? So you got to think about that one too. So when you look at the political arena this year in the midterms, ask yourself this question. Who's going to stand on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights? Some people say that we no longer have a Constitution and a Bill of Rights due to the fact that this president has literally thrown it out the window. Well, no, I shouldn't say literally. He figuratively threw it out the window, stomped on it, tore it up. He doesn't care. He don't care about the Constitution. He doesn't care about this nation. I'm looking down the road at 6 months to a year. We're not going to recognize the United States of America for what it is or for what we grew up in. We're going to get up one morning and get ready to go to work and all of that, and we're going to walk out to our car to get in to go to work. We're going to look around and have this feeling of, what the hell? I don't recognize this anymore. It's going to be that dramatic. Now get this, in subtle ways. And those subtle ways are now being put into our system now. And we see it gradually building. So when they pull your blindfold off, you'll see it for what it is. We've created this for you. It's a new world order with Agenda 21 policies, and the UN is now over the United States. And by the way, we no longer have a Constitution or a Bill of Rights. You have to cater to the United Nations. We believe it's better for you. You're not going to recognize it anymore. Because they're lying to you. They're using you. Actually, they're manipulating you so that you can behave in such a way to where you will go out and initiate an aggressive stance against what is happening. And at that point, they will slam it shut, suspend the Constitution, implement martial law, and you're screwed. By the way, we've been in martial law since 1933. Go look it up. It was an executive order by the president back then, and it was never rescinded. Think about that one, folks. You seem to think that everything's just fine and dandy. You think everything's just hunky-dory. Well, it's not. You seem to think that everybody on the news is telling you the truth. I don't care if it's ABC, CBS, NBC, CNBC, MSNBC, or Fox. It doesn't really matter. They're all lying to you. Get it? They're all lying to you. They're lying through their teeth because they want to control every aspect of your life. I just heard today on a program about the singularity. Yeah, I just heard on the Spencer Hughes show at talk910.com. He'll be on tomorrow 10 to 1 at talk910.com. Talked about a singularity. About 9 pieces of technology. I'm going to look this up so I can give it to you. And that will be implanted in you. Okay? Yeah. And let me do this. I'm trying to find it here. Well, here's something. That's a PDF. Peace of mind. The decision to accept an implantable cardiac defibrillator. Qualitative findings. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. That's the good aspect of it. I can't seem to find it. I'll probably have to go to the website of Talk 910 to find the article. But the thing is, let me look for it again. Yahoo, there it is. Yahoo News. If this thing will work. God, I hate when a page loads really, really slow. Now, when I'm going to read this after the bottom of the hour break, and I'll tell you what it is. But let me guide you. Let me direct your attention to a website, 2045.com. 2045.com. Okay, I'm going there now. In June of 2013, the initiative hosted GF 2045, the Global Future 2045 International Congress, towards a new strategy for human evolution in New York City. The strategy, as Itzkoff pointed out, involved an ambitious big-picture project called Avatar to enable the transfer of individual personality into sophisticated artificial carriers. I'm going to put this up on the Free America Radio Facebook page because this is vitally important for you to understand. And I've got some other things to read too as well. And I don't know what to say to people, seriously, because, you know, in regards to this, because of the fact that it's so over the top that that at some point when you read it, you just won't believe it. You get to the point where you're like, what? What is this? No. This can't happen. But it is. It is happening. And the UN and a few other places are supporting it and funding it. Oh, by the way, you're funding it. Implantable devices that are going to be put under your skin. Oh yeah, I'll read you to the 9 when I get back from the bottom of the hour break. And I have to admit, some of them are good, as I heard on the Spencer Hughes show today. Maybe 1 out of the whole 9 are good, but the rest of them, no. They're already doing it in some areas, planting RFID chips underneath your skin to be able to take the information from you, okay, in some way, shape, or form. Now, I don't know how that's going to work. A lot of advocates and advocacy groups are talking about privacy. They're talking about hacking. If Russia can hack into our system and hack into military, computers, what makes you think that this is any safer? Okay? I'm just saying. I don't get it. And I know that a lot of people don't understand it as well. But hopefully we can come to some understanding of what this is all about. Hey, folks, I'm going to take a little break. It's the bottom of the hour break. I will see you in almost 2.5 minutes. Talk to you in a bit. You're listening to The Views Expressed right here on the Free America Radio Network. The world as we know it is changing. We must speak out against the tyranny in our country. Stand up. Speak out. Get involved. Live Truth Radio. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. The Wayne S. Pierce Show on the Free America Radio Network. Go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com for more information. And catch The Wayne S. Pierce Show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on the Free America Radio Network.
Time to take our republic back, folks. Brian Bonner, the Uncooperative Radio Show host, will tell you how. Join us for the ride of your life. Using humor and the facts, we will expose the news that the lamestream media refuses to report. The Constitution is the solution, and we can prove it. Listen in and find out what it means to be an uncooperative citizen of these United States. You can find our show at uncooperativerradio.com, and we are rebroadcast on redstatetalkradio.com.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Hello, Brian Lang from LiveTruthRadio.com. Had a little situation going on. He had a little situation going on, and he is, I believe, has solved his problem. But let's just keep reaching out to Live Truth Radio. He's very much in the arena of exposing the truth. You've heard the promo there. Stand up, speak out, and get involved. LiveTruthRadio.com. Donate to him. Donate, please. He needs it. Why? We all need it. Donate to the Free America Radio Network. Why? If you want the truth with the facts, then, it's up to you to keep it going, isn't it? We're just trying to educate you on what's going on around you. And as I've heard Brian say many times, as I say many times, as many others as I've heard say many times, go out and look this stuff up yourself if you don't believe us. It's staring you in the face. Learn to recognize what's going on. Educate yourself and get the knowledge to be able to understand what's happening. Then you'll know what we know. But hey, you might even know more, so share that with us. Please. Go to LiveTruthRadio.com, email Brian Lang. Go to FreeAmericaRadio.us, email me. Share what you know, because without you, we don't know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Let us know. All right? Thank you. Appreciate that. If you drop a few bucks in the donation link there, that will help us a great deal. And thank you. Appreciate that. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. And there's a bunch of stuff there I told you about. And first I want to read you the 9 technologies that will soon be inside of you. Get your head out of the gutter. This was written on Yahoo News by Mike Edelhart, posted the 8th of October 2014. Given the frenzy of interest following the announcement of the Apple Watch, you might think wearables will be the next really important shift in tech. Not so. Wearables will have their moment in the sun, but they're simply a transition technology. Keep that in mind, folks. Technology will move from existing outside our bodies to residing inside of us. The next big frontier. Here are 9 signs that implantable tech is here now, growing rapidly, and that it will be part of your life and your body in the near future. Number 1. I do not like this, folks. Go back and look at the remake of Total Recall. I think Colin Farrell was in that one. Go take a look at that film and remember what I've talked about here. Number 1 by Mike Edelhart from Yahoo News, 9 technologies that will soon be inside of you. implantable smartphones. Sure, we're virtually connected to our phones 24/7 now, but what if we were actually connected to our phones? That's already starting to happen. Last year, for instance, artist Anthony Antonellis had an RFID chip embedded in his arm that could store and transfer art to his handheld smartphone. Researchers are experimenting with embedded sensors that turn human bone into living speakers. Other scientists are working on eye implants that let an image be captured with a blink and transmitted to any local storage, such as that arm-borne RFID chip. But what takes the place of the screen if the phone is inside of you? Techs at Autodesk, go check them out. I've heard about them for a few years. Techs at Autodesk are experimenting with a system that can display images through artificial skin, or the images may appear in your eye implants. What? 9 technologies that will soon be inside of you. Number 2, healing chips. Right now, patients are using cyber implants that tie directly to smartphone apps to monitor and treat diseases. A new bionic pancreas being tested at Boston University, for instance, has a tiny sensor on an implantable needle that talks directly to a smartphone app to monitor blood sugar levels for diabetics. Scientists in London are developing a swallowable, capsule-size circuits that monitor fat levels in obese patients and generate genetic material that makes them feel full. It has potential as an alternative to current surgery and other invasive ways to handle gross obesity. Dozens of other medical issues from heart murmurs to anxiety, have implant phone initiatives underway. Folks, this is not only on the drawing board, it is now in prototype stage. Ask me about that later. I will tell you how I know. Okay? I want to interject something here and send a message out to Brian Lang. Look for, study, and research something called targeted individuals. Okay? Go look that up, unless you already have. I don't know if you have or not. So, targeted individuals. This has been going on since the mid to late 1960s. Okay? High technology of that time, the military and others have targeted certain individuals, and, let's just put it this way. There's a lot of targeted individuals. I'm just going to say that. Number 3 of the 9 technologies that will soon be inside of you. Oh, by the way, thank you, Mike Edelhart over at Yahoo News. Cyber pills that talk to your doctor. I've read about this. I saw this last year. The pill is about half the size of your thumb. This thing is huge. I saw it on Mythbusters with Jamie Heineman and Adam Savage. Yes. Implantables won't just communicate with your phone. They'll chat with your doctor, too, in a project named Proteus, after the NC body navigating vessel in the film Fantastic Voyage. A British research team is developing cyber pills with microprocessors in them that can text doctors directly from inside your body. The pills can share, literally, inside information to help doctors know if you are taking your medication properly and if it is having the desired effect. What? You want a pill to talk to your doctor, to text him when he's at dinner? Oh, Bill is having heart problems. Oh, let's see if and he's not taking his medication on time. And the doctor can remotely, activate this possibly if that's not in the works already. Oh, wait. It is in the works. Number 4. Bill Gates' implantable birth control. The Gates Foundation is supporting an MIT project to create an implantable female contraceptive controlled by an external remote control. The tiny chip generates small amounts of contraceptive hormone from within the woman's body for up to, get this, 16 years. Now you heard that right, folks. Implantation is no more invasive than a tattoo, and said Dr. Robert Farah of MIT, quote, the ability to turn the device on and off provides a certain convenience factor for those who are planning their family, unquote. Gives losing the remote a whole new meaning. Number 5. I've already seen this. I've already read this. I've researched this. This is real. This is happening now. So, yeah. What are you going to do? Stand up, speak out, and get involved, right? You better. 4 words. Mark of the beast. Number 5. Smart tattoos. Tattoos are hip and seemingly ubiquitous. So why not smart digital tattoos that not only look cool, but can also perform useful tasks like unlocking your car or entering your smartphone codes with a finger point. Researchers at the University of Illinois have crafted an implantable skin mesh of computer fibers thinner than a human hair that can monitor your body's inner workings from the surface. A company called Dangerous Things has an NFC chip that can be embedded in a finger through a tattoo-like process, letting you unlock things or enter codes simply by pointing. A Texas research group has developed microparticles that can be injected just under the skin like ink, like tattoo ink, and can track body processes. All of these are much wiser choices than the name of the soon-to-be X. I mean, think about it, folks. Let me go back to this, the NFC chip. Go to your smartphone, your Android phone, whatever, and look under NFC. You'll see it in the settings on an Android-operated phone. If you go and get to the main screen, you can go to the top, slide your finger down. You will see quick memo, vibrate, Wi-Fi, NFC, and edit. Yeah, go check that out. There you go. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Number 6. Here's the biggie, folks. This is not number 9, but it's getting close. This is the biggie. Let me direct your attention to a now canceled sci-fi show on the Sci-Fi Channel called Eureka. Remember that show, folks? Remember the sheriff came in to the house and just told the house what to do? And the house was telling him what was done all day and blah, blah, blah. Remember that? Sheriff Carter. Remember that? 9 technologies that will soon be inside you. Number 6, brain-computer interface. Having the human brain linked directly to the computer is a dream or nightmare of sci-fi. But now a team of Brown University at Brown University called BrainGate is at the forefront of the real-world movement to link human brains directly to computers for a host of uses. As the BrainGate website says, quote, using a baby aspirin-size array of electrodes implanted into the brain, early research from the BrainGate team has shown that the neural signals can be decoded by a computer in real time and used to operate external devices, unquote. Chipmaker Intel predicts practical computer-brain interfaces by 2020. Intel scientist Dean Pomerleau, I think, said in a recent article, quote, eventually people may be willing to be more committed to brain implants. Imagine being able to surf the web with the power of your thoughts. By the way, it has been seen and it is documented that the brain operates hundreds of thousands of times faster than your desktop computer. Number 7. Ooh. I like this one. This is not too nefarious. This isn't too freakish. But I kind of like this one. Okay? Number 7 of the 9 technologies that will soon be inside you by Mike Edelhart. Meltable, yes, meltable bio batteries. One of the challenges for implantable tech has been how to get power to devices tethered inside or floating around in the human bodies. You can't plug them in. You can't easily take them out to replace a battery. A team at Draper Laboratory in Cambridge, Massachusetts is working on biodegradable batteries. They generate power inside the body, transfer it wirelessly where needed, and then simply melt away. Another project is looking at how to use the body's own glucose, to generate power for implantables. Think the potato battery of grammar school science, but smaller and much more advanced. Let me interject something here, folks. Okay? When I get done reading this after the top of the hour and all of that, I will go to I want you to go there, now open up another tab and go there, and I will connect a couple of things for you and give you, of course, my opinion about it, because I want you to know where all of this is going through UN, charters, Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. Look at predictive programming, look at targeted individuals, look at all this. Look at it all. Because it's going to gear you up to at least pay attention, but at most go out and check this stuff out yourself. Go to website 2045.com. 2045.com. Number 8 of the 9 technologies that will soon be inside you. Smart dust. This is already, now you've probably seen posts on Facebook about smart dust and about this and about that. It's all nanoparticles. Nano. We're talking very small particles. Smart dust. Perhaps the most startling of current implantable innovations is smart dust, arrays of full computers with antennas, each much smaller than a grain of sand, that can organize themselves inside the body into as needed networks to power a whole range of complex internal processes. Imagine swarms of these nano devices called MOTES, M-O-T-E-S, attacking early cancer or bringing pain relief to a wound, or even storing critical personal information in a manner that is deeply encrypted and hard to hack. With smart dust, doctors will be able to act inside your body without opening you up, and information could be stored inside you, deeply encrypted, until you unlock it from your very personal nano network. And number 9. The verified self. The verified self. Excuse me. Implantable hammer against social norms. Implantables hammer against social norms. In other words, people are scared to death about these things. They raise privacy issues and even point to a larger potential dystopia. This technology could be used to ID every single human being, for example. Already, the U.S. military has serious programs afoot to equip soldiers with implantable RFID chips, so keeping track of troops becomes automatic and worldwide. Many social critics believe the expansion of this kind of ID is inevitable. Some see it as a positive. Improve crime fighting, universal secure elections, a positive revolution in medical information and response, and never a lost child again. Others see the perfect Orwellian society, a big brother who, knowing all and seeing all, can control all. And some see the first big fatal step toward the singularity, that moment when humanity turns its future over to the software. That is on Free America Radio on Facebook. Excuse me. I believe it's on there. Oops. It's not on there. Well, let me go find it again. Jeez. But anyway. When you look at this stuff, folks, when you examine how all of this is really... How do you see any of this? How do you see any of this? Okay? How is it? I don't get it. I mean, some people, oh, that's good. It's not going to be used for bad stuff. It's going to be really good because... Folks, you have no idea what these elites have planned for you and I while they pack their crap and move off to their underground bunkers. Folks, this is real. This is not a conspiracy theory. Matter of fact, I wrote it and Brian Lang shared it. And I'll read it to you. I'll read it to you. Before I go to the top of the hour break. I said I've had enough of this BS. People who say this person is wrong and that person is bat crap crazy should shut the hell up and prove it. If you can't, what credibility do you have? Mark Dice is not wrong. Alex Jones has a different approach. Glenn Beck is mostly right. We all don't have to agree with him. And if anyone has anything negative to say about any of them, prove yourself right. Oh, and just FYI, you can't because you won't because you don't know what you're talking about. Besides, if you are so wrapped up in criticizing these people, you are just completely and utterly dense. Okay? I'm going to share that on the Free America Radio Facebook page as well. I find it incredibly difficult, and I say difficult only because I can't understand why a person would ever want to, not look at the truth, not look at the facts, not look at what is there. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, I just don't. I find it incredibly difficult to understand that. Okay? I do. I don't know if it's me not understanding the other person as well as I should, or whether the other person is just a complete and total idiot. Okay? I just don't know. Here, let me give you a scenario. Let me give you this. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, you and I, me, we're standing on the street. I'm going to use Brian Lang, for instance. Okay? I know we're both on the same page in some areas and we see what's going on and we have a different take and all that. We understand this, okay? But I'm going to use him as in the other half of this example. Let's just say him and I are looking at a nice, really nice, souped-up Thunderbird with a blower, and it's really cool. It's metallic blue, and it's got the, purple seats inside. It's really tricked out, man. This thing can just... We look at it, and we see muscle car. Okay? He's looking at it, and he's just raving about the blower, and he's, giving me all the stats, and I'm looking around the car, and I'm walking around, and I'm kicking the tires and all that. And then I see little dings on the exterior, on the quarter panels, on the fenders, on the hood, and see a couple of chips in the glass, in the back glass, and I see, the tires need air or need to be changed or rotated, He's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's great. Here, I'll get in it and drive it. I'm sure he wants to drive it. But he doesn't see what I see. The flaws, the nicks, the cracks. Okay? I'm pointing out all the things that are the blemishes on this car that looks fantastic from a distance, but when you get up close, I'm pointing out all these flaws, the nicks, the cracks, the bumps, the dings, the tires, everything. He's like, screw it, I'm just going to get in and drive. Next thing you know, he's wrapped around a tree, sorry, Brian, because the tire blew, because the tires were bad. Folks, taking Brian out of that scenario, him and I and others like Pete Santilli and Alex Jones and Glenn Beck, we have different areas that we look at, and I don't put Brian and I are far from being in that caliber of talk show hosts, but as an example, we see things a little bit differently than most people. We are pointing out the flaws, the cracks, the dings, the bad things that are with what you're seeing. And you're looking at it all going, oh, it's fine, man. Look, Obama promised that he'd do this, and he did it. Really? Remember I said that if you don't see it, you're dense? Yeah. Hello, Mr. Dense person. You're standing there looking at me with your head cocked to one side, like the dog that heard a bad noise, kind of going, what? Point is, we're pointing out what the problems are. I'm sharing with you the truth one fact at a time, tearing away the veil, showing you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles, and you're standing behind me going, there ain't nothing wrong. What are you talking about? Everything's running smoothly. Look at that. Yeah, you're completely and utterly dense. I don't understand it, folks. I don't understand why people who stand next to me, stand with me, stand and looking from my perspective, and they see exactly what I'm seeing, but they interpret it differently than I do. Do they not understand what history has told us? That if we continue down this road, we're doomed to repeat it? Oh, by the way, as I said in my podcast earlier today, and probably said it here today on this program, we don't have political parties anymore, folks. We have Progressive Party, period. Democrats, Republicans, throw that out the window now because there is no such thing. It is a progressive party. Both of these people, these groups, have certain people they're eyeing to be leader in 2016. And they're going to push them. And the elites and the corporations are going to push it to get their person in, just like they did with the non-citizen, this guy by the name of Barack Hussein Obama. Now, I don't know, but I think people should wake up to the fact that this is the reality. This is the reality of the situation at this point. And if you don't get it now, folks, you're going to be wiping your feet off on a welcome mat at a FEMA camp near you. Top of the hour break, freeamericaradio.us, Free America Radio at USA.com. That's Free America Radio at USA.com.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates, online at thelibertybeat.com. I'm Brian Hagan with your Liberty Beat for Monday, October 20th, 2014. Gold is trading around $1,240. Silver is trading around $17.38. And Bitcoin's trading around $380. Today's precious metal price is brought to you by Midas Resources Incorporated, helping clients convert their paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver. Get their 10 Reasons book free by calling 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237. Support for Liberty Beat comes from SovereignMiners.com. Interested in mining Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies? Well, Sovereign Miners has you covered. All purchases come with a free script ISIC miner. Visit SovereignMiners.com to buy your miner today. In the news, the Bureau of Investigative Journalism in the UK has released a report claiming that of all the deaths from U.S. drone strikes in Pakistan, less than 4% were al-Qaeda terrorists. There are over 2,300 deaths from U.S. drone strikes in Pakistan, with only 84 of the dead identified as al-Qaeda members. The Bureau's Name the Dead project has collected names and details of the deceased from government records and open-source reports. On Thursday, Florida Supreme Court ruled that tracking a person's location using cell phone location data falls under the Fourth Amendment and requires a court-issued warrant. The case involves police tracking a drug dealer using data gathered from a telecom company without a warrant. However, the ruling will likely have larger implications, as it also covers the use of Stingray cell phone surveillance tools used by law enforcement. The court found that cell phone users do not consent to giving up their location simply by possessing and using a cell phone. WikiLeaks has published a leaked copy of a recent draft of the controversial Trans-Pacific Partnership's intellectual property chapter. The draft is from May 2014 and covers a range of issues, including copyright term lengths, internet service provider liability, and enforcement measures. The Electronic Frontier Foundation says the TPP is the latest cycle of policy laundering that takes advantage of the secretive, special interest-dominated negotiating forum of trade agreements. Critics fear the international agreement will supersede national law related to copyright and intellectual property and empower transnational corporations. Support for Liberty Beat comes from My Magic Mud, detoxifying tooth powder, the most effective and affordable dental care around. Jessica Armand would like to thank Liberty Beat listeners for all of their support. Get a 150 application jar at mymagicmud.com. Did you know you can support the Liberty Beat when shopping on Amazon.com? Just log into your account after clicking our Amazon affiliate link at libertybeat.com/Amazon. That's right, you can help the Liberty Beat continue to deliver hard-hitting Liberty news and activist updates by doing your Amazon shopping after following our link at thelibertybeat.com. This is the Liberty Beat for Monday, October 20th, 2014. Check out the website at thelibertybeat.com and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/thelibertybeat. Early Saturday morning, the United States Supreme Court ruled that a new Texas voter ID law could stand. The court's decision means that Texas voters must present identification to vote, beginning Monday, October 20th. In the dissenting opinion, Judge Ruth Ginsburg called the law purposefully discriminatory. Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott's office said they were pleased with the decision. This coming Saturday, the Liberty Beat, in association with Brave New Books and the Austin Alliance of the Libertarian Left, is hosting the Be the Media mini-conference at Brave New Books. The mini-conference, which will be live-streamed at the libertybeat.com/bethemedia, will be followed by a party celebrating the newly formed partnership between the Liberty Beat and the Genesis Communications Network. Now, according to organizers, those who take part can expect to hear an in-person speech from a special surprise guest, someone who runs one of the most popular websites in the world and is responsible for exposing millions and millions of people to the message of liberty. Don't miss this informative and exciting event. The conference, which is free and open to the public and includes speeches and panels, will begin at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon and end that evening at 6. But make sure you stick around for the after party featuring special guest Adam Kokesh. To watch the live stream the night of the event or to learn more about it, visit thelibertybeat.com/bethemedia. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from The Corey Moore Show, live each Friday night at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. That's The Corey Moore Show, liberty-minded, comedy-focused. Hear it at CoreyMooreShow.com. This is the Liberty Beat for Monday, October 20th, 2014. I'm Brian Hagan reporting, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Yes, how you doing? No, it's not Fat Albert. It's Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Free America Radio Network. The views expressed live right here for the 20th of October 2014. How are you doing? Hey, go to freeamericaradio.us. Donate if you can. I do take Bitcoin. I do take PayPal. Or, hey, do one better. Sponsor this show. Go to the sponsors page on freeamericaradio.us. It's not going to break your advertising budget, and that's the way I like it. So, you can also go to Emergency Food Supply tab and get your emergency food supply as much as you can, because that helps you out, your family out, and Free America Radio Network. That's freeamericaradio.us. Click the Emergency Food Supply tab, and hey, there you go. Welcome. How are you? I did a podcast earlier, so check that out as well when you can. But anyway, are y'all doing great on this Monday? Hey, I had a week off. I'm good. Had some family issues, but I'm good. I'm here. My feet are on the ground. Yes, how you doing? Anyway, if you were here in the first hour, thank you. Appreciate that. Go to freeamericaradio.us and support the network. Thank you. Share this show when you can. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook, if you would, please. Thank you. Police Department requesting Facebook passwords from gun permit applicants. I'm not kidding you, folks. Not kidding you one bit. Let's go to the website and read it. TheFreeThoughtProject.com. Request violates Constitution and Facebook terms of service. A Waterville, I don't know, it's in New York. Police Department is asking pistol permit applicants for access to their Facebook accounts. Yes, and there's a picture of it right there on Free America Radio on Facebook. Go check it out. Yeah, folks, check it out. Pistol permit applicant. Name, address, phones, emails, Facebook, and password. And date. There it is. The department recently sent an applicant a form which asks for his Facebook username and password, and after the applicant complained, the department claimed the form was sent to him by mistake and was only used during face-to-face interviews when the department asked applicants to access their Facebook accounts. Quote, it is a common practice to view social media as a means to identify and determine character of a pistol permit applicant in addition to other investigatory methods, unquote. The department's spokesman told the applicant, quote, typically all we ask is that an applicant access their account during an interview, unquote. I'll let you read that, folks, because that pisses me off. Nobody's getting any of that information. You know how an applicant, I don't care if you're applying for a job or whatever, some of your bosses want your Facebook account and password. You can tell them to kiss your ass. Here's the thing. Here's all an application needs. I don't care if it's for whatever. I don't give a crap. Specifically for a gun permit, your name, your address, your telephone number, that's it. Social Security number, obviously, whatever. It's not. Don't even give the Social Security number, because the Social Security card and number is not supposed to be used for identification. So don't even give them that. And if they want it, go, I won't give it to you. But how are you going to get a gun? Protect yourself, whatever. Yeah, so this is a bunch of bullcrap. The picture here says, in a blatant violation of Constitution and Facebook terms of service, the police department in New York State is asking pistol permit applicants for their Facebook passwords. They want to know your character? Your character? Excuse me? I don't think you have a bad character when you want to defend yourself and your family, do you? I don't see criminals going down and getting a permit application. Do you? I don't see the drug dealers funded by the drug cartels getting permits. Do you? No. Okay, just saying, just putting it out there. Free America Radio on Facebook. Scroll on down, you'll see this article from DCClothesline.com. We light up your night. Oh, and we take all your info from your phone. I want to interject this while the page is loading here. If you use Android, iPhone, whatever, I don't know, Android operating system, whatever it is, you got your cell phone, you go to download something, you look at the application that you want to download, even games, by the way, if you're looking at them and it shows we need access to your data and your microphone and your camera and your, no. No. You know what you do? I know people like I know people like to get the very first, of everything with all the bells and whistles. I understand this. Everybody wants that. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Blow it out your ass. Everybody wants this, okay? Everybody wants the new thing, the thing that everything, and you spend 4 days camped out in front of stores to get, okay? Yes, I understand that. Some serious mental issues there if you do that, but why would you even want to download something that accesses your data? How about just getting a normal pay-as-you-go phone? No, texting, that's good enough. Nothing else. Why not? Is it better? Is it not better? I don't know. By the way, all your iPhones and all that, they track you. Let me grab my phone and I'll tell you, I got an Android operating system on my phone. And let me go to System Settings. Let me go to, what is this? Location Services. Google Location Service. Let apps use data from sources such as Wi-Fi and mobile networks to determine your approximate location. GPS satellites. Let apps use GPS to pinpoint your location. Location and Google search. Let Google use your location to improve search results and other services. Really? There's your tracking device right there, folks. Right there. In your hot little hands. Okay? By the way, if you have OnStar in your car, or if you have, and now cars have Wi-Fi connection. Did you notice that in the new cars coming out? Have Wi-Fi. They want to track you. They want to. By the way, California is also thinking, if they haven't signed it already, if people haven't got all pissed off yet about it, they're going to tax you per mile. Tax you for driving per mile. Okay. Are we on the same page here? Okay, knock, knock. Anyone home? Do you understand what's going on here, folks? We light up your night. Oh, and we take all your info from your phone, too. DCClothesline.com. Do you have a convenient, quote-unquote, flashlight app on your cell phone? Bad news if you do. The top 10 flashlight apps for Android phones steal your information and even your pictures. Get a keychain flashlight instead. It's an 8-minute, 46-second video from Ben Swan and Gary Milevsky, snoopwall.com. So go check that out. It's contributed by the Daily Sheeple, www.thedailysheeple.com. Yeah, go check that out. Scroll on down here from Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. If you don't know what Bohemian Grove is, you should. It'll be part of my... he's got a rant today, so I don't know when it's going up. But yeah, shows George Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush Jr., blah, 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 out at Bohemian Grove. What is that? Yeah. Go look it up. Vladimir Lenin, 1921, abridged. Yes. It's not all there. This whole part of this speech it's abridged. Corrupt the young. This is how to destroy the West. Corrupt the young, get them away from religion, encourage their interest in sex. See how much the porn industry makes, don't you? Make them superficial by focusing their attention on sports, sensational entertainment, and other Trivalities, 1984. Always preach true democracy, but seize power as fast and as ruthlessly as possible. Encourage government extravagance. Destroy its credit. Produce fear with rising prices, inflation, and general discontent. Encourage disorder and foster a lenient attitude toward disorders. Now let me say that again. Encourage disorders, false flag events, and foster a lenient attitude toward disorders. Oh, it's no big deal. By specious argument, cause the breakdown of the old moral virtues, honesty, sobriety, self-restraint. Cause registration of firearms to leave the population defenseless. Guess what they did? Guess what Hitler did? He told the population when he was chancellor, register all your weapons. Guess what he did after that? About a year or so later, took all the weapons because he knew where everybody was. Okay? Hey, you go check it out yourself. I'm just telling you what I know. There you go. There's a video there on Free America Radio on Facebook. Former CIA insider, U.S. government fears its veterans. Well, they better. Or they shouldn't fear them. They should just give up now. The veterans are going to come back and kick some ass. Here's the biggie that I want to talk about. This is like, yeah. Want to talk about communism, fascism, socialism, Marxism? Yeah. Have you heard about this? The MinorityReportBlog.com says and writes, government to ordain ministers. Celebrate same-sex wedding or go to jail. Yeah, let me say that again. If you're going, what? Let me read that again. Government to ordained ministers. Celebrate same-sex wedding or go to jail. So, is there no religious freedom left in the United States? The United States was founded on the principles of religious freedom. Has liberal progressive orthodoxy and political correctness overtaken the most basic of inalienable rights in America? It appears so. From the Daily Signal by Ryan T. Anderson, he writes, for years, those in favor of same-sex marriage have argued that all Americans should be free to live as they choose. And yet, in countless cases, the government has coerced those who simply wish to be free to live in accordance with their beliefs that marriage is a union of a man and a woman. Just this weekend, a case has arisen in Idaho where city officials have told ordained ministers they have to celebrate same-sex weddings or face fines and jail time. The Idaho case involves Donald and Evelyn Knapp, both ordained ministers who run Hitching Post Wedding Chapel. Officials from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, told the couple that because the city has a non-discrimination statute that includes sexual orientation and gender identity, and because the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals struck down Idaho's constitutional amendment defining marriage as the union of a man and a woman, the couple would have to officiate at same-sex weddings in their own chapel. The non-discrimination statute applies to all, quote, public accommodations, unquote. And the city views the chapel as a public accommodation. On Friday, a same-sex couple asked to be married by the Knapps, and the Knapps politely declined. The Knapps now face a 180-day jail term and $1,000 fine for each day they decline to celebrate the same-sex wedding. A week of honoring their faith and declining to perform the ceremony could cost the couple 3.5 years in jail and $7,000 in fines. Government coercion. The Knapps have been married to each other for 47 years and are both ordained ministers of the International Church of the Foursquare Gospel. They are, quote, evangelical Christians who hold to historic Christian beliefs, unquote, that, quote, God created two distinct genders in his image, unquote, and, quote, that God ordained marriage to be between one man and one woman, unquote. But as a result of the courts redefining marriage, why are the courts doing that? And the city ordinance that creates special privileges based on sexual orientation and gender identity, the Naps are facing government coercion. Huh. Can you say communism? Government recognition of same-sex relationships as marriages need not and should not require any third party to recognize a same-sex relationship as a marriage. Government should respect the rights of all citizens, which they don't. Indeed, a form of government respectful of free association, which we don't have, free contracts, which we don't, the government doesn't care about, free speech, which, the government tries to suppress, and free exercise of religion, which they're trying to get rid of all Christians, should protect citizens' rights to live according to their beliefs about marriage. The Naps have been celebrating weddings in their chapel since 1989. Government should not now force them to shut down or violate their beliefs. After all, protecting religious liberty and the rights of conscience does not infringe on anyone's sexual freedoms, no one has a right to have the government force a particular minister to marry them. Some citizens may conclude that they cannot in good conscience participate in same-sex ceremonies, from priests and pastors to bakers and florists. Remember the baker that, was forced to make the cake for the same-sex couple, and the florist, Remember that couple in upstate New York that basically said there's not going to be any weddings in their home anymore because the government said you have to marry because it's a public accommodation? Well, let's make it private. Then the government has nothing to say about it. It's private. I can do whatever I want. It's not public accommodation. Invitation only, excuse me. Let me go on here and read this last line. They should not be forced to choose between strongly held religious beliefs and their livelihood. Well, if that's the case, can you say Hobby Lobby? Yeah, I'm serious, folks. Take a look at the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Take a look at it. Okay? And you will see, excuse me, I got something going on there. You will see something that, I don't think people really pay much attention to. Constitution of the United States says, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, meaning our future, do ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States of America. The First Amendment, let me go here. Let me scroll on down. That's what it says in the Constitution. Now, let me go into this. Now, I'm going to give you two sides of this. And I'm going to give you if you heard my podcast from earlier, I'm going to read you this first line, but you can go listen to my podcast from earlier and get the whole thing. In Congress, July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one person to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. So far, so good? We on the same page? Okay, cool. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men, meaning humanity, are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, meaning unalienable means they can't be taken away from you, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That, now get this, to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers, get this one, from the consent, you and I, of the governed. In other words, we give these people permission to do this. They have taken it from us. Oh, and hear this, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, and it has, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, which I don't think hardly any of us have. I think most of us have the balls to do, but don't want to be inconvenienced. Do you know what I'm saying? And to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. In other words, they see bad things going on. They're just like, what the heck? We'll just go over here. No. You need to get in there and change it. That's what you need to do. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, which are going on right now, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, our right, people's right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies back in 1776, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. If you want to hear the rest of that, I had a podcast earlier. Go check that out. Bottom line is, folks, we have a problem in this country, and the problem is directly related to what is happening in Washington, D.C., with the elites owning the corporations that run the nation's capital. Those offices are bought and paid for long before you even put your check mark on that ballot on voting day. Got it? Makes you not want to vote this year, does it? Hey, I'm with Jesse Ventura. If you're able to, mark in none of the above. Yeah. Or if there is a blank spot that you can check, go check that sucker, man. If it's an electronic voting, don't do that. I'm sure, I don't know. Well, let's put it this way. I don't know if you can, but when you go to your polling place, ask that person there, can I have a paper ballot? See what happens. Oh, we don't have those. Okay, I won't vote. Don't. And then let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Look at the percentages of the precincts that vote, and then look at the numbers. Crunch the numbers with the people that you know that live in your precinct. And you tell me whether or not this sucker isn't rigged. Okay? Why not? You'll get the information, won't you? You'll find out for yourself just how bad this system truly is. Anyway, yeah, what solutions do I have for voting? Get rid of both parties. Both parties are progressive, like I said in the first hour. They're a progressive party. Theodore Roosevelt, President Theodore Roosevelt, a Republican, started the Progressive Party. Yeah, go look it up. He was a socialist. In the history of the United States, I think we've had like 5 or 6 socialists, self-proclaimed socialists running under one of the tickets. Okay. What kind of crap is that? Okay. Holy crap. Anyway, hey, gotta go to break. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey, stick around. I got a half hour to go. Talk to you in a bit. If you're into liberty and libertarian values, tune in to The Angel Clark Show, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, at radiofreedom.us.
No elitist drivel, no media spin. Logic over emotion, fact over fiction. The home of independent conservative thought. The Conservative Voice with your host, Jeff Wagner, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Around the planet on the World Wide Web.
The storm is on the horizon. The system of government that we currently have in this country is collapsing. We are on the brink of total disaster as a nation, a people, and a planet. Who or what can save us? Listen to The Views Expressed live, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, at freeamericaradio.us. Hey, folks, welcome back. This is the Views Express Live right here on the Free America Radio Network on Spreaker.com and freeamericaradio.us and on any app that you have on your personal communication device that you carry around and are tracked by the federal government. Thank you, NSA. Hey, yeah, go to Spreaker.com, scroll down to the bottom, look on the right-hand side, you'll see all the apps for your device. So there you go. Let's drop on over to the go-to site that I like, Drudge Report. How's that? Now, let me look here. I'm just scrolling all over the place here, trying to find something to give you. I don't know, man. Hey. Oh, before I forget, which I almost did, on the 29th, 30th, and 31st, on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st, which is next week, I'll have a live performance of an original radio play that I wrote. Yes, and two other. I didn't write the two other radio plays that I will play on that night, but come join me on Eastland Radio Theater right here on Spreaker.com and also EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com for a night of horror. Yeah, it's a Halloween special. Come join me, 29th, 30th, and 31st at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Yes, come join us. Yes, there were 3 plays that night. One I wrote. So there you go. 29th, 30th, and 31st, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com or Eastland Radio Theater on Spreaker. Check it out. Thank you. Not much on Drudge Report, so let's go over to another one that I like to go to. I don't know, I kind of like their stories. They got a spin to them as well. Alabama House Speaker indicted on corruption charges. Oh, ain't that wonderful. From today, over on Reuters.com, Alabama State House Speaker indicted on corruption charges. Alabama's powerful Republican State House Speaker was indicted on 23 criminal counts of corruption by a grand jury, court records released on Monday's show. Mike Hubbard, who helped guide Republicans to majorities in both houses of the Alabama legislature in 2010 for the first time in 136 years, was indicted on Friday on charges that include using his office for personal gain and legislating with a conflict of interest. I'd like to know what that was all about. According to the indictment handed down by a grand jury in Lee County, Hubbard solicited favors from a range of powerful Alabamans, including former Governor Bob Riley, a fellow Republican, along with several business leaders. The charges are all Class B felonies, which under state law each carry a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and $30,000 fine. Speaking on Monday outside the Lee County Jail where Hubbard was booked, Mark White, his attorney, said Hubbard would fight the charges. The Alabama Media Group reported, quote, "We'll be ready to fire back," unquote, White said. According to the news organization, White did not immediately respond to messages seeking comment. You notice something in that story. There's no talk about who was accusing him, or who turned him in, or whatever. I'm going to speculate here, folks. I don't usually do that without the facts, but I'm going to speculate here and say this. Chances are it was a Democrat that lodged the complaint and got him indicted. Okay? Progressives don't play well with one another. All right? They don't play well with people that stand on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights like you and I do. No. But what is missing in that story, which I did not put, I'm terrible today. We look at these things and we say, okay, why did this person do this? Well, we seek out the answers, and guess what? When we find the answers, we're probably more shocked to find out, who it was, and it was probably something we never expected. Okay? I put that up on Free America Radio Facebook page for you to take a gander at. The thing is that corruption is all over the place. It doesn't matter. It could be in the city council. It could be in your governor's office. It could be in your law enforcement officials. It's everywhere. You know why? Ego. And if you've studied psychology, you know that the ego is pretty compelling and interesting because it is attracted to things that are pretty much taboo in some cases. Oh, I can't steal. I can't do this. That's immoral. That's it. Ooh, that looks good over there. Let's see. So you begin to build up, right? You look around, you start doing some reconnaissance, and then you think, well, maybe I can get away with it. Well, the superego, if you go that far with it, says, I can get away with this, not a problem. I'll just make up something and, tell somebody something and I'll just get away with it. The id just says, screw y'all, I'm going to do it anyway, kiss my, butt. That's pretty much how, if anybody out there has studied psychology like I have, you know that the ego, superego, and the id are very much in control of and operate only when met with compelling compulsions. That's the word I'm looking for. So look at it. Corruption throughout the House. It's from Washington, D.C. down. But chances are, as I said before and speculated about, chances are it was a Democrat that turned him in. Go look at it. Go search it out. Doesn't give so much information right there. But if you learn how to read between the lines and you know what to look for, and you look at the wording and how it's presented, yeah, pretty much. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm speculating on this, but I don't see who turned him in. I don't see any word on who turned him in. All they had to do was go, an anonymous caller called in to, and I would have been satisfied. But then I still would have thought it was a Democrat, a progressive. Like I said, progressives don't play well with one another. They don't. They want power and control, and that's just the way it is. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. It's like two train engineers, saying, well, we got to go 50 miles an hour, one says, and the other one goes, no, we got to go 60 miles an hour to meet up with this and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and they're all fighting for the same control. And it's like, no, bull crap. One engineer, one method, that's the way it is. You're going to drive this train at 50 miles an hour through town. You got to slow down to 35. Some cases, that's, what it is. But the thing is, also, when you look at this whole corruption deal in government, that's been going on for, long time, couple of 100 years, really, ever since 1871, I would think, because then corporations and elites and all these train and mine moguls were buying politicians and putting them in office. That's where it all started, the incorporation of Washington, D.C., 1871. Go look it up. The Organic Act of 1871. It really does put a whole new twist on how you look at this whole ideal in government. You look at this stuff and you say, wait a minute, hold on, that person is corrupt. How do you know? Because of who he's associated with. Again, guilt by association, but not really, because when you look behind the scenes and you see who's padding the pockets of the politicians and buying the offices long before you put that little check mark on your ballot, then you'll see what's going to go on. You see immediately who you can trust and who's going to take your money and use it for other things. But yeah, it's corruption across the board, folks. It's complete corruption across the board. So it doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. The only people that I see that don't have a corrupt background, and I'm only speculating. I haven't really looked into this. I've seen bits and pieces and different stories, but I just really haven't laid it out and said, okay, let's look at this, is the Libertarian Party. And statistics showed about 6 months ago that the Democrat and Republican Party are losing members and losing affiliates because they're all going to the Libertarian Party. They're all saying, screw this, we know what these people are up to, we're leaving, we're going over here. Some are just totally going independent. They don't care. They're just saying, I don't care about the parties. I'm going to go independent. I'm nonpartisan, folks. I don't care about parties. I don't think there should be parties in the U.S. Some people might. Well, how are we going to get this done? And how are we going to get that done? And blah, blah, blah. No, you get it done per state. What did our founding fathers warn us about? A centralized government. What else did they warn us about? A centralized banking system. Folks, we have both. Hello, corruption running rampant throughout the United States. Can you get your head out of your ass and figure it out now? Can you stop walking around in this fog going, yes, everything is okay, Obama is Messiah, and no. Get your head out of your butt, okay? I don't care, people are, I hope you disagree with me, but you better show me why. I know I'm right. I see it. It's right there in front of me. There it is. Are you looking at the same thing? Probably not, because you don't want to, because you don't want to admit you're wrong. I don't mind. I'll admit when I'm wrong. No big deal. I don't have a problem with that, and I'll show you. It's no big deal. I'm wrong? Yeah, here's what I looked at and I was wrong about. No big deal. Why? It's called personal accountability and personal responsibility. Can we have that now? No, we can't, because, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we should have it. It should be there all the time. let's go to in the last few minutes we have here, let's go to Infowars.com. White House deletes petition to stop Ebola. Isn't that wonderful? CDC cuts Dallas quarantine halfway into incumbent period. What? Yeah, and Pentagon says Ebola strike team does not violate posse comitatus. What? Wait, hold, what? Oh, yeah, by the way, secret project created weaponized Ebola in South Africa in the 1980s. Hey, let's read that one. I'll put this on Free America Radio on Facebook. We'll check this out. Secret project created weaponized Ebola in South Africa in the 1980s. Was this strain of Ebola deliberately released? This is from Dan Taylor at Infowars.com. The goal of the project was to develop biological and chemical agents that would either kill or sterilize the black population and assassinate political enemies. Among the agents developed were Marburg and Ebola viruses. Let's see. Basson is surrounded by cloak and dagger intrigue as he told Pretoria High Court in South Africa that, quote, the local CIA agent in Pretoria threatened me with death on the sidewalk of the American Embassy in Showman Street, unquote. According to the 2001 article in the New Yorker magazine, the American Embassy in Pretoria was, quote unquote, terribly concerned that Basson would reveal deep connections between Project Coast and the United States. Go look that up, Project Coast. In 2013, Basson was found guilty of, quote, unprofessional conduct, unquote, by the South African Health Council, if I can talk. Bioweapons expert Jean Gulliman, writes in her book Biological Weapons from the Invention of State-Sponsored Programs to Contemporary Bioterrorism, quote, the project's growth years were from 1982 to 1987 when it developed a range of biological agents such as those for anthrax, cholera, and the Marburg and Ebola viruses, and for botulism toxin, unquote. Basson's bioweapons program officially ended in 1994, but there has been no independent verification that the pathogens created were ever destroyed. In other words, nobody knows. The order to destroy them went directly from Dr. Basson, according to the Wall Street Journal, quote, the integrity of the process rested solely on Dr. Basson's honesty, unquote. Basson claims to have had contact with Western agencies that provided, quote-unquote, ideological assistance to Project Coast. Basson stated in an interview shot for the documentary Anthrax War that he met several times with Dr. David Kelly, the infamous UN weapons inspector in Iraq. Kelly was a top bioweapons expert in the United Kingdom. He was found dead near his home in Oxfordshire in 2003. While the official story claims he committed suicide, medical experts highly doubt his story. In a 2007 article from the Mail Online, it was reported that a week prior to his death, Dr. Kelly was to be interviewed by MI5 about his ties to Dr. Basson. I'm going to put this on, excuse me, I'm going to put this on Free America Radio on Facebook, and you can read the rest of this. It's a bioweapon, folks. Now, why would, everybody's thinking, well, why would they do that? Easy. Georgia Guidestones, look that up. It's better to handle and control 500 million people worldwide than the 7.5 billion people that we have now. That's what it is. Now, look at it from this point of view. Change your perspective. Check this out. We have members in Washington, D.C. that are, well, closely connected to the military-industrial complex. That's number one. Number two, we have those military-industrial complex personnel who are pilots. Number three, it doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure out that you can put something in the air. Number 4, chemtrails. Shall I go on, or do you get where I'm going with this? That's just the way it is, folks. That's just the way it is. Now, some people may look at me and tell me that I'm one of those, conspiracy theory nut jobs. But you know what? I'm right, you're wrong. Go check it out. Okay? It's that simple. Don't sit there, point your finger at me, and criticize me for something you don't understand. You don't have a right to do that. I'm, hopefully, encouraging you to go out and check this information out yourself so you can figure it out on your own. Because I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer at all, ever, about anything. I'll give you the guidelines. I'll give you the stories. I'll help you understand what's going on. Yes, we can talk about it. Not a big deal. But you ain't getting the answers from me. Now, if you have something that you found that I haven't seen before, please share that with me because I'd like to know. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. So, let's do this, folks. Let's take the last few minutes. I might end this early because I don't know. I got a lot of stuff. Hey, I'm doing, I've mentioned this before, but I'm doing a live broadcast on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of October. That's next week. And it will be a live radio, it's a live broadcast of 3, get this, 3 radio plays. 1 I wrote. So anyway, check it out. 29th, 30th, and 31st. I think that's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Eastland Radio Theater.weebly.com or Eastland Radio Theater right here on Spreaker.com. You can listen to that live. And I will be in the chat room. Yes. So there you go. Anyway. What else, folks? Oh, yeah. Before I forget, go check out Brian Lang and Live Truth Radio at livetruthradio.com. Some situations happened this past few days with him, so please give him as much support as you possibly can because he definitely needs it at this time. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. If you like the views expressed live, you can keep it views expressed. I'm not going to go there, folks. Please support Free America Radio Network so I can keep bringing you these shows. And just a show note, speaking of which, just a show note, the Wayne S. Pierce Show, for right now, is going into podcast form. It's not going to be live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays like it used to be. It's going into podcast form for now. But if you want it live, please support the network. That's, hey, you can, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. Ask me. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Put in the subject line radio so I know you heard this. That way I know, oh, yeah, somebody heard that. Okay, cool. And go from there. Oh, and I know we haven't had it, but I want to promote this as well. The Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. We need to do that. Okay. Don't know when because we've been really, really busy these last few months. Yes, we've just put it off because we didn't have anything to talk about. And we've just been really busy and just, pretty much life gets in the way half the time. So we got to set aside some time to do it. That's Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. And my friend and I, Laura Clemens, will be doing the Unnamed Show at some point. We keep talking about it. We keep threatening each other that we're going to do the show, and we never do. So It's not our fault. We just going, you know what? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. That kind of thing. So, the Unnamed Show with your host, yours truly, and, of course, Reverend Laura A. Clemens. And we will get something written up, and we will do something for you guys, because I know you guys miss us. So, anyway. Hey, what else? What else? Like I said, I was going to end early. I just don't have much to say after this. But remember, if you would please, your support of Free America Radio Network is vitally important for me to carry on the shows that I do. So please, whatever you can do. Hey, got a buck? That'll work. You want to forego a latte for one day, whatever you can do, folks. Free America Radio Network is listener supported by you, because you listen, I hope. And you can support us through Bitcoin or through PayPal, through those donations. Or you can sponsor the show. It's not going to break your advertising budget. I keep it that low just for that reason, okay? So it's not gonna break you. So you can go to freeamericaradio.us, look at the sponsors page, check it out. And, of course, if you have any questions, all you got to do is ask. No big deal, I'll tell you. Also, you can get your emergency food supply by clicking on the emergency food supply links on freeamericaradio.us. Check it out. The more you get, the more you're going to have. And the more you're going to support Free America Radio Network. Yes. Anyway, as you can tell, I got something going on there. What else? Yes. What else? Not only do I do this show and other things, but I also paint. I'm an artist as well. So if you have any questions about that, I have paintings for sale. Okay, I'm just telling you, I have paintings for sale. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, please email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. More than happy to answer any questions you have. If you have comments, questions, concerns, even if you disagree with me, I'm okay with that. Just show me why, because, I'd like to know, not just have you, I disagree with you. Well, show me why. I don't have to. Well, I don't care then. You're going to disagree with me. I don't care. You can go take a long walk off a short pier for all I care. It doesn't really matter. But if you're going to show me why you disagree with me, cool. Show me. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Well, yeah, you do. You got to prove it to yourself first. Don't you? I mean, if you get a thought in your head, don't you look at that and go, hey, I'm going to go check that out. Right? And then you dig and dig and dig and dig. So, yeah. There you go. It's real simple. I don't have a problem with that. And hey, I'll be the first in line to admit when I'm wrong. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. But anyway, hey, folks. I'm going to get out of here about a minute and a half early. So I know I got like 2 minutes left. But hey, I'm going to get out of here because I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat dinner. So email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Ask me anything you like. No question is off limits. Please be nice. And yeah. So folks, I am going to get out of here for this evening. Come join me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network on Spreaker.com and on the apps that they provide, and freeamericaradio.us. In the meantime, folks, there's always something to remember and something to believe in. Think about that one. But I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this little something that I like to leave people with, instead of just being pissed off. We the people have the power, for we are America.